nonprofit friends. Bobby D here with Inspire Hearts and Virtual Event Fundraising. I am super, super pumped. I have my buddy with Cheerful, Richie Kendall. Richie, thanks for being with us today.
Great to be with you, Bobby.
Right on. Okay, so Cheerful came across my radar. And I was like, okay, this is something different. And we had a conversation before, and when my brain does that glitch thing, it's like, I'm like, okay, we've got to dive deeper in this. So tell us a little bit about, what is Cheerful? What sets you apart in the fundraising market versus kind of all the other platforms that are out there?
Absolutely. Cheerful is, at its core, an all-in-one fundraising toolkit for nonprofits to streamline their operations, raise more money, and really get their value proposition and mission out there to the next generation community, which, as you know, is a younger and younger audience who have expectations about how to use technology. Typically, younger people, will not be filling out long online forms or writing checks or attending highbrow galas. They want to move money like Venmo. They want to send, cash through an app, right? So our whole suite is really based on those principles, making it easy and rewarding to support the nonprofits you care about. And our tool set includes everything from one-time recurring giving, text to give, events and ticketing, auctions, peer-to-peer fundraising, and a couple of really innovative tools, which we can talk about a little bit more, which include round-up giving, which is new to the market.
Okay.
That lets individuals round up their everyday purchases as donations to their causes of choice, as well as gifts for good, which allows nonprofits to send in-honor gift cards to individuals when they donate on their behalf. So we can talk about those things a little bit more in detail if you'd like.
Yeah, definitely. So here we are, we're definitely talking about event fundraising and how, because I come from the gala world, and yes, we had lots of galas scheduled and now we don't, and nonprofits everywhere are really scrambling. It's like, how do we replace that giant chunk of income that we would expect from an event? And now we are postponing that event. So there's a big gap in the fundraising, or maybe they can't have the event, and that leaves an even bigger gap in the fundraising. So how could Cheerful work with a nonprofit to fill that gap or create something that maybe hasn't existed before?
Absolutely. And, as creative as our team is, we often go right back to our community of over 3,000 nonprofits to see what kind of ideas are coming out of that community during these precarious times. And we've been amazed by both the ingenuity, creativity, and sheer courage of a lot of our partners who, instead of saying, hey, let's cancel the event this year and kind of get back to the drawing board, have come up with really, really powerful ways to transform that, what could be sort of a real hit in revenue, into maybe even raising more money than they traditionally would have.
Right. I love that.
If you'd like to jump into any of those ideas.
Yeah. Let's talk about maybe some of those real world examples about some groups that are, transforming that idea and taking that courage to try something new. Because a lot of times I know nonprofits are always very stuck within, this is the way we've always done it and it's worked. But now there's definitely been a shakeup in the entire fundraising world, and you have to do something differently. So let's chat a little bit about something different.
Yeah, sure. Well, one thing that we've been seeing a lot of interest in is transforming what typically would be a canceled event, like a dinner or gala, into a online auction, a multi-week offering where they've asked their corporate sponsors, who may have paid good money for seats or tables at this event, to instead donate a high value item. Maybe that's it's a gift card of high value, or it's some piece of tangible goods that they have at the office or offer themselves as a company, and offer that up to the community of that nonprofit to bid on over a multi-week bidding process. And the multi-week bidding process online allows everyone to stay safe and social distancing, but to also really come together and realize that the long-term sustainability of this nonprofit and this mission is really important. So let's all come together. Let's all sort of outbid each other, make it sort of a nice competition, and raise money that way. So that's a really interesting way to transform an in-person event into an online experience.
Okay, for sure. So now auction's definitely very transactional. It's a very give to get kind of thing. What are some tools or strategies for more of a relational, kind of style of building? I know you talked about, the roundup. I know you talked to the kind of the give gifts, kind of thing out there. Like what's a way that we can encourage more relationships to come into us to now help to steward those relationships beyond what this virtual event may be?
Absolutely. The key to building longer term relationships is leveraging technology and precise communications, almost custom like communications at scale and with automation.
Okay.
A couple of tools that we see our partners using, which are really good about building longer term relationships, are roundup giving. What's cool about roundup giving is not only does it allow an individual to come in at a very low barrier to entry where they're committing their everyday spare change to the cause,
right,
but the nonprofit can also trigger content to get sent to them as a push notification through a mobile app or as a email when they hit giving milestones. So imagine you've connected your credit card and that credit card is being used to pay for your Netflix subscription or Amazon. Every time a transaction takes place, a little bit of spare change gets donated. That spare change gets accumulated over time in a way that becomes really significant. In fact, we see an average gift of about $20 a month per person on a traditional debit card.
Right.
When a company connects, let's say their corporate cards or multiple accounts, we can see between 3 to 5 times that amount in the course of a month. And that automated communications when companies or individuals hit those milestones is a way that rewards the giver in real time as they're going about their daily life, providing them everyday reminders about the cause that they're powering. That's just one example.
I mean, that kind of makes me think of the Office Space. Kind of back in the day, they were like, "Here, we're going to take just like a little, like a fraction of a penny, and we're going to throw it in this account, and then it's just going to grow up." I mean, I like the idea of yes, individuals being able to round up, but now working with those corporate sponsors, those what we call philanthropic partners, to let them bring that within their corporate culture and be like, "Look, this is the nonprofit that we love. We love the work that they're doing, and we invite you as a part of our corporation to support this and to round up for them." And I'm sure some corporations would probably even do like a match from that. So now they're buying things anyways and they're able to double that impact.
Giving turns into more giving. It's a cycle.
Yep.
And what's really powerful about the way we built our product is that we enable the nonprofit community to onboard companies into the system and provide those companies with fully fledged, fully featured workforce giving technology. So in the same way that a nonprofit wants to track their event registrations, their auctions, their online giving, we want to allow that nonprofit to essentially clone that tool set for their corporate sponsors to engage those companies in a broader corporate social responsibility effort that they can track as well.
Wow. So now this is definitely working on a much, much bigger picture than, just like an individual donor base. I mean, this is really kind of tying together, that corporate philanthropy as well with individual giving and making that spread. I mean, just so much more socially, through that. And then with that, then that's where the impact is able to grow.
That's right. And you and I have talked about this, Bobby. We sort of see the space as comprised of 3 pillars that are coming together in really meaningful ways over the last couple of years, and we'll continue to do this. One pillar being the nonprofit sector, those on the ground doing the work, changing and saving lives. Then you've got this new influencer economy. This is the second pillar, which has been enabled by democratized, flattened social ecosystem where individuals can amass huge amounts of following and a huge voice to support causes they care about or engage their communities in different activities.
Totally.
But the third pillar is the corporate piece. CSR is becoming an increasingly important part of the double bottom line of large corporations and small businesses who are, feeling rightful social pressure to tell the world what kind of good they're doing, as opposed to just, maybe what they're doing not to hurt the environment or not to create any external sort of any downside. Right. So those three pillars coming together within a single technology set is a recipe for, real amplified revenue over time, as well as a really engaged community.
Yeah, no, I love that connection, and I see a lot of groups that are out there that are really connecting, the nonprofits with the influencers and that corporate giving. Did you see what was it, Stream Live the other day where it was like 2.7 million or something that they raised in like 5 hours? It was crazy.
It's amazing. We're living in public these days. The coronavirus has especially accelerated some of these trends where, the technology is there to communicate digitally as if we were, in the same room. And while we're all siloed, these live stream technologies, Instagram Live, Facebook Live, they're only going to grow. We're working with the Mayor's Fund of Los Angeles, for example, on their COVID-19 relief effort.
Okay.
They've raised a tremendous amount of money through text to give and some online tools through their website. But most importantly, they're engaging the Hollywood celebrity community in raising those funds.
Nice.
One example is DJ D Nice, who partnered with Michelle Obama on a Get Out the Vote effort, where they claimed this hashtag Club Quarantine, which is a live DJ set, and over 100,000 people were there in the live DJ set, including Rihanna, Michelle Obama, obviously, Diddy, and it was a real coming together, meaningful moment across the entire celebrity culture where everyone was showing solidarity and raising money and awareness for important causes.
Wow. So, we're talking, that we're living publicly, but now we are a part of this global community. And there are many grassroots nonprofits that, definitely are doing work, within their own community, but they're also creating programs and services that, can, help nationwide, even, globally. So when we're able to, take that public connection that we have and then make that global connection, and then when you start to add in those influencers and then multiply the amount of impressions and the amount of people and that energy that gets built, behind that. Whoa, yeah. It's amazing the type of work that can be accomplished.
It's unlocking tremendous potential within the human race. Technology is a very, very powerful connector. And it's part of the reason we're so excited to be launching products with some of our strategic partners like MasterCard, who's an investor as well as a strategic partner in rolling out our donation-powered platform across their merchant banks and banking partners. So it's something that we're sort of looking, how can we make this technology available to everyone globally as soon as possible?
Yeah, for sure. I think that soon as possible. That should have happened like 6 months ago, but now everybody's plan A, is gone. So everybody's like trying to figure out, what this plan B is. So for maybe our grassroots kind of groups that are out there that don't have, Rihanna or Michelle Obama, on their database, maybe what are some tips or kind of ideas that we could offer them to help to grow that, kind of grow that follower base or grow that engaged donor base, and then, utilize, technology like Cheerful to be able to get people to be, involved in that.
It is such an important question. And we always kind of come back to where does it all start, right? It starts with the mission. It starts with the internal culture of the organization.
Okay.
One thing that we encourage is, if you're going to experiment with new recurring revenue streams, for example, like roundup technology, right? That the board be the first to start rounding up their change. and
Okay.
see how easy it is to round up. And then naturally that extends to family member, friends, your closest donor community, and really scale it up that way. Another tool is, don't be afraid to leverage the new peer-to-peer ecosystem, right? Get your strongest supporters to become advocates. Have them set small goals that they can then engage their networks into reaching those small goals. When you have numerous people raising money towards small goals, you're not only bringing in a sort of permutation of new donors into the ecosystem, but you're creating a chain of advocates. And at the end of the day, it's really this sort of social nudging that is what's able to expand your community.
Right on. Yeah. And then I always talk about tribe fundraising, whereas, you as a nonprofit are your own tribe. But then as you're talking about those donors and getting them to be your advocates, now they're opening up their tribe, and connecting your tribe. And then your tribe just keeps growing bigger and bigger and
That's
bigger and
exactly
bigger. And then having these multiple, different avenues. Like I can think, about the roundup, like you're right, like you've got the board, they start, and then their friends, and then their friends of friends, go within that. And then that grows. And then you've got the peer-to-peer stuff, and then you've got the auctions, and then you have maybe some type of live stream, thing that happens where it's an event. Maybe it's a, it's a DJ set, or maybe it's a puppy-thon or something like that. And then all of that can jive together.
That's exactly right. Yeah, it's really exciting times, as sort of precarious as it is as well.
Totally. So a little bit about investment. I know nonprofits are, now more than ever, watching every penny that goes out. So let's talk about, what does an investment look like into Cheerful, and then kind of what type of ROI could they see, out of this?
Absolutely. So Cheerful, in response to the COVID-19 pandemic, has actually just released a no upfront cost version of our entire fundraising suite for the nonprofit community. That ecosystem, any nonprofit can come in for free and engage any one of our fundraising tools. That option is co-branded, meaning it's a shared ecosystem, in that donors who come in, support your mission, can manage their all-in-one giving. So if they wanted to support another nonprofit in the future, they can do that under a single Cheerful giving account. Now, if you would prefer as a nonprofit to have your own exclusive fundraising feature set with your own branding end to end, that starts as low as $99 a month for your essential giving features.
Wow.
And if you prefer events and ticketing, auctions, peer-to-peer tools, those are all a la carte. You could add each of those for around $50 a month. So it's really a tool set that is built for small nonprofits who are very budget conscious, but then also larger organizations, so to speak, who prefer that fully branded tool set.
Wow, that's amazing. So then you have all these different streams that can come in through Cheerful. Now, I think there's a CRM tool that ties this all together, right?
That's right. Yeah, the Donor CRM is something we're accelerating the power of every single day in partnership with our nonprofits. It includes the ability to not only manage all donor accounts, but track their giving history, send them receipting. Stuff to look forward to in 2021 will include everything from task management to the wealth screening tools, which you see in some of the more enterprise level CRMs.
Wow, that's that's pretty exciting, because once we start tapping in all of these, these tools that are out there, and especially letting, the smaller, more grassroots groups to make a very small, minimal investment into a high-powered tool like this, now they are able to play on the same playing field, as the larger, national nonprofits with giant, budgets, and start to really play by those rules, which is pretty exciting.
That's right. Yeah, and at the end of the day, it's payment partners like Stripe, who offer great rates for nonprofits. It's CRM and API integrations that allow multiple systems to come together. For example, we do connect with Salesforce. So if you are using the Salesforce CRM, your data can kind of flow directly into there. But providing a tool that is flexible, that works with other systems, that leverages low-cost processing, is really what nonprofits need at their core, so that they can manage their digital transformations and donor communities over time. Our goal is to really make it a no-brainer investment to consolidate those platforms and then add on other tools like e-marketing and such as needed.
That's awesome. I love that term, digital transformation. That's truly what we're doing. We're taking what used to be a fully, in-person analog style of fundraising to where now we are digitally transforming that into a more virtual world and tapping into a bigger global community.
That's right. It's unprecedented times. They don't call it the fourth industrial revolution for nothing. And, the digital age has just brought about a sea change in how not only consumers interact with online products, but how refined and how simple and secure those online experiences need to be in order to gain traction and adoption. And the subscription economy is just one example, being able to subscribe to different platforms, which is something we're really trying to leverage, in our tool set, but also just one tap transactions. The ability to move money with the ease of a digital wallet or a single tap to get it done.
Yeah. And I'm always telling nonprofits, you have to kiss it. You have to keep it super simple with all of that. And if you can get it to where it's tap, tap, give, you are well ahead of the game. But even if it was tap, give, I mean, bam, that's as quick as it really can be.
Yeah, not to get too much into the analytics, but it's amazing how much drop off there is at each level of friction. So you start with a wide net. Let's say you get a lot of people interested in a specific appeal. And if they have to go through the step of, going to your website, clicking through multiple screens to get to that donate button, you're going to lose a certain percentage. Now, if you're going to force them to put their email, first name, last name, address, phone number, other custom fields, you're going to lose people along that funnel. So the more you can create a direct A to B experience, you can always collect more information over time once you've gotten that first engagement.
Nice. Awesome. Oh, I love that. So good. So good. Well, Richie, I really appreciate you spending a few moments with me today. I know you're super busy. There's a ton of nonprofits that really need your help. But I just, thank you for sharing about Cheerful and how you're able to help the nonprofits raise more money in a much simpler, more engaging manner.
Well, thank you for just being such a leading voice in the space, Bobby. It means a lot to all the nonprofits and causes that you're touching as well.
I really appreciate it. And yes, for you, my nonprofit friends are out there. What you do, I mean, it matters. What you are doing truly is changing this world in a world that needs a lot of changing. So continue to go out, be awesome, make that impact in the world, and let's think globally. Let's make that digital transformation happen, and let's engage more and raise more and make a bigger impact. So again, Bobby D with Inspire Hearts and Virtual Event Fundraising. I want to thank you all again for watching, and happy fundraising. All right, bye everyone.
See you guys.